Accused of kidnapping and robbing rapper Gucci Mane and others are set to face a judge again on Monday as their high-stakes detention hearing continues. In federal court, prosecutors say what was supposed to be a business meeting at 5 of the 9 people charged, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., Darian McDaniel, Corday Johnson, and Demarion Gibson appeared in court. Investigators revealed new details about what they say happened on January 10th. Just after 1 p.m., 3 victims arrived expecting to meet with rapper Pooh Shiesty or Lontrell Williams Jr. Instead, prosecutors say it was an ambush. An FBI special agent testified that Williams Jr. brought 1 victim into a private studio room. Others followed, shut the door, and an argument over a contract quickly escalated. Williams Jr. had Rodney Wright, also known as Big 30, retrieve a bag with an AK-style pistol, then pointed it at the victim, forcing him to sign paperwork releasing him from his contract, according to the agent. A judge has now ruled there is probable cause for charges including kidnapping, robbery, and conspiracy. One of Big 30's attorneys, Murray Wells, spoke with us after the ruling.
There are certainly gaps in the evidence. The thing doesn't make sense. Sort of the way it's put together in the complaint doesn't make practical sense about how the way this may have happened. So we use this as an opportunity to sort of learn what their theory is.
And bond was granted for Williams Sr. under strict conditions, including home confinement and a $250,000 bond. As for the remaining suspects, their cases are expected to continue when court resumes Monday afternoon.
The evidence that was presented today in court.
Well, Greg, I can tell you that prosecutors say there's cell phone evidence that shows the 9 defendants, including Pooh Shiesty, his father, and Big 30, were in the area prior to and after the incident. Kidnapping. But one of the things that the defense has pointed out is there isn't any physical video evidence that shows this crime took place. A lot of information was presented in court, but there still are a lot of questions in this case. We will continue to follow it as it progresses in court and keep you updated. Reporting live from downtown Memphis for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WRU.
Is that a special agent from the FBI, Marcellus Hobbs, from the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, took the stand, and defense attorneys for Lontrell Williams Sr., Pooh Shiesty's father, and Rodney Wright Jr., also known as rapper Big 30, asked Hobbs a key question. Is there any hard evidence, like video surveillance, showing either man possessing a gun or threatening anyone? And Hobbs said no. He also testified that no concrete evidence was found in Wright's car or Williams' homes when they were arrested. But even so, the judge ruled there is still probable cause for both men and all defendants who appear today based on cell phone data, outside surveillance video, and victim statements that stand uncontested.
Man had to tap in on the latest update involving Pooh Shiesty, his father Big 30, and 6 others, as they have now been formally charged and are moving forward under probable cause for the alleged robbery and kidnapping of Gucci Mane and 2 additional individuals. Once again, I'll have the links in the description where you can watch the full clips from ABC, W3WG Channel 3, and Action 5 as they reported live outside the courtroom and delivered real-time updates, while federal agent Hobbs outlined why the case is proceeding on probable cause. But the key details that are circulating right now center on the claim that there was no physical evidence confirming the robbery took place, or that Gucci Mane was placed in the room and made to sign a contract while being recorded. Now, I'm going to break down the write-up in a moment because it lays out more specifics about what investigators do and don't have, including allegations that Big 30 recorded Gucci Mane signing documents and agreeing to release Pooh Shiesty from a contract. They also stated that the phone containing that alleged recording has since been destroyed. Additionally, investigators went to one of the suspects' homes and reportedly recovered items, and those details are included among the key points in the official write-up. Pooh Shiesty did not appear in court, but his father, Big 30, along with 4 other defendants were present for the proceedings. Hobbs testified that RD complied and signed the agreement, referring to Roger Davis. Then, Big 30 allegedly recorded RD at gunpoint, claiming he was being forced to release Pooh Shiesty from the contract. It was later revealed that investigators have been unable to recover that video because Big 30 allegedly destroyed his phone after the incident. Investigators also allege that Pooh Shiesty robbed RD of his earrings, watch, and wedding ring. However, there is currently no physical video evidence confirming that the robbery actually occurred. It is also alleged that 8 defendants, excluding Pooh Shiesty's father, including Darian McDonald and DeMarcus Glover, re-entered the studio and brandished firearms at RD and 2 other victims. At one point, investigators say RD's security team attempted to enter the barricaded room. However, Wright and 2 other defendants allegedly pointed a gun at them and ordered them to step back, which they did. Investigators report that the victims eventually exited the studio at gunpoint.
Afterward, the defendants reportedly left the scene and were later seen on nearby surveillance footage. Investigators also say they recovered a firearm from Demarion Gibson's residence, along with a hoodie found at McDaniel's home that matches what he was seen wearing in surveillance footage at the time of the alleged incident. Now, the argument being made is that the surveillance places all of the individuals in the vicinity during the time frame in question. Because of that, authorities believe they have sufficient grounds to move forward with probable cause. Additionally, one of the individuals had the hoodie in his possession that allegedly matches what was seen in the surveillance footage. However, a major point being emphasized is that Big 30 allegedly recorded the entire incident with Gucci Mane on video, yet that specific piece of evidence has not been located. So ultimately, the principle remains that the accused are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. At the end of the day, it's not about what is known or claimed, it's about what can actually be proven with evidence. Hold up, when you're on the defense side in a case like this, it really comes down to one core question. Can the prosecution actually prove that you did it, not whether you can prove that you didn't? That's the standard they have to meet, and if this goes to trial, everything ultimately lands in the hands of a jury and how they interpret the evidence presented. Listen, this whole situation is already sounding wild, especially with reports that multiple individuals were allegedly in hotel rooms together and moving around during the timeline in question. There are also claims that Pooh Shiesty was reportedly receiving calls from his probation officer at the time, while his father is said to have been out during the same period, which adds another layer of complexity to the timeline.
At the end of the day, this is just the latest development in an ongoing case that people are closely following. Viewers and fans have been reaching out for updates, so this is the kind of situation that will continue to be monitored as more information comes out. All I'll say is this: innocent until proven guilty still stands, but you can't ignore how intense and complicated this looks from the outside. I didn't expect to see a federal case of this magnitude where authorities are allegedly able to place individuals at specific locations using witnesses and surveillance evidence. And when a jury gets involved, it becomes less about speculation and more about whether the evidence convinces them beyond a reasonable doubt. In situations like this, contract disputes and personal conflicts can escalate quickly, especially when surveillance systems, license plate readers, and digital tracking can be used to build a timeline of events. Prosecutors may also introduce background information, including past behavior or patterns, to argue what someone may be capable of, though that's ultimately weighed carefully by the court. Now the question becomes whether the jury believes the defendants had the intent and opportunity to commit the alleged acts, particularly with multiple witnesses reportedly involved. If this does proceed to trial, individuals connected to the situation, including Gucci Mane, could potentially be called to testify as part of the proceedings. At this point, all we can do is wait, watch how the case develops, and see how the evidence holds up in court. Let me know what you think about this situation, because it's one of those cases that's going to keep people talking.